Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you everyone for joining us. Ya Mulai Mehरबान, Ya Mulai Mehरबान, Ya Mulai Mehरबान, मदद फरमा, Ya Mulai Mehरबान, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। अल अकरम, 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 अल अकरम। ओ बहुत ही मेहरबान मौला, ओ बहुत ही मेहरबान मौला, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर। तू सबसे बड़ा और आला है। अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर, अल अलीयुल कबीर। अल अलीयुल अज़ीम, अल अलीयुल अज़ीम, अल अलीयुल अज़ीम, अल अलीयुल अज़ीम। तू बहुत ही अजीम है या मौला। तौफीक, ताईद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। या अलीयुल अज़ीम, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। या अलीयुल कबीर, मदद फरमा। या अल अकरमीन, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद। आज हमारे सामने एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत मजमून है। Today we have a beautiful chapter in front of us. It is said in the Qur'an to the Mu'mineen, and Mu'mineen who read the Qur'an and understand the Qur'an are chanting that today the earth will shine with the nur of the Allah. And Allah promised, on that day the earth will shine by my light. And that is the promise of Allah for the time of Qiyamah. And those Mu'mineen who have seen this miracle, this light at the time of Qiyamah, they are happy, happy, happy. Their faces are radiant as they see and they have recognized the day and the of this day. The Sahib-e-Zaman, back in 1885, when our 40th Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah Alayhi, Allahumma Salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, at the tender age of 8, took over the Imamat after 2 Buzrug Imams within the 4.5 years. Took the hijab and physically left this world. Imam Hassan Ali Shah and Imam Ali Shah Mabab both changed the Jama within 4.5 years. And now we had a young Imam, less than 8 years. But he was the Noor of Allah, Noor of the Imam, Nuran ala Noor Imam, Imam Barhak. Regardless of physical age, you could hear and see the might of the Imam in him. The day began with him coming to the mic with very decisive, loud voice. He called upon the Jamaat, crying Jamaat. Jamaat were crying loudly as they just cannot believe it that they lost yet another Buzrug Imam within short period of time. As they have seen this same event just few years ago. Imam stood firmly on the stage. If you can find that picture, or if you can imagine the picture, that young man standing straight on the mic and with a very decisive voice, he called upon Jamaat. Hey Jamaato, why are you crying? Your Imam is standing in front of you. I am Nuran ala Noor Imam Barhak. Do not consider me small. I am the descendant of the Prophet and Hazrat Ali Amirul Mu'mineen was my great grandfather. With a clear, decisive farman, firm voice, loud enough that Jamaat could hear. He spoke over the cry of the Jamaat. Hazrat Bibi Fatima, Khatun Jannat, was my great grandmother. I am the Noor of Ali and Nabi both. I am young in my age, but my status is high. And Jamaat understood that they may have lost a physical body, but the Noor is speaking. Noor is speaking. And they remember the promise of Allah. That Noor, after Noor, Nuran Allah Noor, Imams always be present in this world. Even when many times over, Dushmanan-e-Deen, Kafirin have tried to blow away this Noor, I have protected and I have perfected my Noor in the manifested Hazir wa Mawjood Imam. And Imam asks the question to the Jamaat, why are you crying? The Noor-e-Imamat is in front of you. And that gave Jamaat a pause. Because they could not see how this young man will be able to handle the great Jamaat of the time. Again, if you can imagine or if you remember those pictures where young Imam is sitting on his gadi, on his throne of Imamat, and all the elders are gathered around him, proudly standing next to the Imam, whereas just few hours ago they could not imagine what would happen to our Jamaat. Now they are standing around the Imam proudly, and they could see the Noor speaking, and speaking in a clear, decisive voice. There was no childish words. He spoke just like his father and grandfather. And look at the advice and direction and prediction. I don't care how smart a child is, but at the less than age of 8-year-old cannot use this kind of language in the manner the Imam did. Imam again called out to the Jamaat, now listen, now make sure you recognize the Imam of the time. Now you make sure. It is up to you. As Imam is in front of you, Nuran ala Nur, Ale Nabi, Aulade Ali. Now you make sure you recognize the Imam of the time. And not only that, but make good friends with him. Become Ansarane Imam. the friends of Imam, companion of the Imam. Don't think he's young, a child. You must recognize the Imam of the time. In 1885, Imam Shah Karim Thani in Russia says, it is the fundamental principle of our tariqah, and that is to recognize the Imam of the time. And again, in Golden Jubilee, sending a message with LIF leadership to the Jamaat, wishing that perhaps my Jamaat would recognize me. And the next phrase, perhaps the Imam would recognize the Imam of the time. As that is the principle, the core principle of Ismaili Tariqah, the Adam or the Shish, the Imam of the time. May it be the Ibrahim or Ismail. May it be the Mehboob Khuda, Rasul Akram, or Ali Murtaza, regardless of what name they came with. It is a fundamental principle of the Deen Khuda, the religion of Allah, to recognize the Noor, the manifested Noor amongst you. And that is the same core principle of the Islam and Ismaili Tariqah today. Amongst us receive the guidance. They did not receive the hidayat, which Allah have promised to them. If they had believed in Allah, that I will never leave you without an Imam, there always be the Imam, and everyone will be called with the Imam of their respected time. If they had remembered this one single ayat, then they would never would have refused to accept and then obey the Imam, because this was the very Imam with which they will be called upon on the day of Qiyamah. So let's talk about day of the Qiyamah now. Remember, this is the course, a series of lecture on the Imam Shanasi, the recognition of Imam. And we are at 18th lesson today. That Imam is always present. It is upon the people to make sure to recognize the Imam of the time. Not only that, but to make sure they become their friends and helpers and gather around the Imam and help in the Imamat. As we today see this very clearly, how one Jamaat have gathered to fulfill Imam's wish of one Jamaat to come together. And the reason can be for the purpose of didar or for the purpose of engaging with each other. It can be a conference or sports. It can be dandiya ras or musical festivals. Come together as one Jamaat and stand around the Imam of the time. And how do you do that? First, to make sure you recognize, always keep your Iman on the Hazir Imam. Do not lose the sight of the Nuran ala Nur Imam. Father Imam, son Imam. Son Imam, father Imam. Imams are always present regardless of time. May it be the time of Adam and Shish, or time of Ibrahim and Ismail, time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or Ali Murtaza alayhi salam, or today's time of Shah Karim and Shah Rahim. Regardless, recognize the Imam of the time. And that was the entire purpose of these lectures. And then to make sure you make good friends with him. Become his helper. Come closer as one Jamaat. And have love in your heart for your Imam. And do good deeds. Never talk or do bad for anyone. Look at the advice. Never talk or do bad for anyone. That is very, very important. If someone is bad, leave him to Allah. Even if he speaks ill of you or me, Imam says, you do not do any bad deed for them. He will pay for his own action. Remember, if you can do that, that is a sign of nobility. You do not become bad with bad people. You keep focus on the Imam. Have you ever seen Imam doing bad or bad mouthing anyone? We should never forget, how does Imam do good for others regardless? Regardless. We have example of Tajikistan when he broke from Russia and when they were dying without any discrimination. Imam and Imamat and the institution of the Imam help the entire country, regardless of what they are doing to us. This is how Imam works. Don't forget how Imam works in Afghanistan, how he has saved Pakistan many times over, how he has helped African countries and other Asian countries, especially Syria. Imam just does good regardless of what happened in the past or what could possibly happen in the future. He does good for the humanity, for the ummah, for the community where Ismailis are living. Now let's come to the subject of the day. Remember, we talked about that Allah has promised and the Mu'mineen are chanting. Today, Allah's Noor have shined the earth as per His promise. And 40 years ago, an 8-year-old young Imam have said these words. This is the last period, Akhir Zamana, Dore Qiyamah, the day of the resurrection, day of the Qiyamah. And whosoever has true faith in Imam will see the miracles. And what is Mu'mineen chanting again? That earth, Zameen have shined, is shining with the Noor of the Imam. They will see the miracles and impressive events in his time by the Imam-e-Zaman. ए जमातो, ये दौरे आखिर है, क़यामत का ज़माना है। इसमें मोमिनीन जो सच्चे हैं वो अपने इमाम के माजिज़ात को और अजीब और गरीब इवेंट्स को देखेंगे। And those who have half-hearted faith, half-hearted, adhura iman, will witness the miracle but will not believe them. अधूरे दिल वाले भी इमाम के माजिज़ात को देखेंगे कि किस तरह से आज इमाम का ज़हूर और नूर पूरी दुनिया पर छाया हुआ है, लेकिन यकीन नहीं करेंगे। This is the time which was predicted in the Qur'an 1400 years ago, that the earth will shine by my Noor. And Mu'mineen today are chanting that we see the Zuhur-e-Imam, Zuhurat after Zuhurat, how Imam's Noor is shining upon the earth. But those who are with half-hearted Be-Iman will, but will not believe, will not believe. Whosoever has not believed in the miracles and the events of the Nabi and Imams are like a blind individuals who cannot see. Who cannot see. Surah 39, ayah 69 talks about this farman and the prediction of this time. And what does Quran says? That on that day, the Akhir Zamana, on the day of Qiyamah, the earth will shine. You may see how you did Are you the believer? Are you the true Muslimin? Are you the true reader of the Qur'an? Are you the true believer of Allah? Are you the true believer of the Muhammad and Ali? Are you the believer, the true believer of the Imam after Imam, Nuran ala Nur? As today is that day which was predicted 1400 years ago. The earth is shining with the nur of the Lord, and the book of deed is placed. Now it is open. You can see who have done right and who have recognized the Imam. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, you are the one who Imam have spoken about in his Faramin. My spiritual children, my angels, my Jamaat, my loving children. And we can see the book of deed of the followers of the Imam, the true spiritual children of the Imam. And the prophets and all witnesses shall be brought forward. All the prophets, as there may be Ismailis among us who were by their grandfather and the ancestor were presented in ancient time of Adam, and they were the Mu'mineen. They were the Mu'mineen in the, and with the Ibrahim, they were the Mu'mineen with the Mawla Ali, and generation after generation, they kept their Iman intact. Every time the trials and turbulence came, every time a Imam changed his Jama, they remain close to the Imam, Nuran ala Nur. Today they can see how strong this one Jamaat is. And they are part of this Jamaat. Regardless of the language they speak, regardless of the country they have come from, they are all holding on to this rope of Imamat as one Jamaat. And the prophets and all the witnesses shall be brought, and the judgment shall be justified, justly passed on them. They shall not be wronged. The reward is upon you, my friends, my brothers and sisters, the Hakiki Mu'mineen. The rewards you can see. And the reward is that we have yet another Imam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Imam never have and never will leave. Those who believe in him. And your book of deed is clear. You are rewarded yet again by the hidayat, by the nur, by the nur. Do we see the earth shining by the Hazar Imam, by the Noor-e Khudawandi, manifested Nur? Do we see it? As Imam promised, those with the Iman will see it, and others will see but will not believe it. Now, if we reflect on this verse, what does it tell us? The Noor-e Khudawandi, regardless of the form and the title and the name and the age, remains with us. Sometimes they are called prophets, sometimes they are called imams, and they are always here as our witness, and we will be called upon on the day that we die by the Imam of our time. By reflecting on the verses above, it becomes vividly clear that as a witness, the chain of imamat has always been there, regardless of time, not only with the prophets, but also continues after them till the day of Qiyamah, as we see today. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Until the day of Qiyamah. We are living that day today. Inshallah, Mu'mineen. My friends, let me stop here.